How's it going, Rasmanites? Well, big surprise, right? Still in the same place. I know. I'm gonna even stop mentioning the fact that I'm moving, except for when it pertains to something relevant to the video, which it actually does today. So, but yeah, unless it pertains to something relevant to the episode, I'm not gonna mention it anymore because clearly, every time we try to get out of here, something holds us up. This time it was yet more snow hitting the ground. So basically, you guys will see me here until you don't see me here. And that's just the way that it is. Okay, so for today, what I want to talk about is something I haven't done in a while. Most of you know that are long-time subscribers. But for those of you that don't, that are new subscribers to the Razman's Reality here on YouTube, yours truly, the Razman, I am a variety guy. While most of my focus is on entertainment and film in one form or another, I am also a big wrestling and sports fan. I did a wrestling video recently. But the one thing I haven't done in quite some time is talk any sports. Basically because I haven't felt in a while now that there were any sports headlines that were really worth mentioning. Until something came to my attention today. So I'm going to talk to you all about steroids in baseball. Because I think there are some truths that have come to light, and I think people don't know how to react to it, how they should feel about it. But I've got a very, very simple, emphatic answer for you that I'm going to broadcast here today. So that's what's coming up right now on the Razman's Reality. Steroids in baseball. Some of you may say, well, Raz, you're wearing a Bengals hat when you're talking about baseball. Well, simple answer for that, and I said that this would be relevant to the video, and that's why I'm mentioning it today. I am moving. Half my stuff is in the apartment. I will eventually get there. And unfortunately, my baseball caps are among the casualties. The only caps that are still out are the football caps because it was football season recently. So there is your explanation for the mismatched hat for the topic that I'm discussing. But the reason that I want to bring up steroids in baseball is because, if you don't know, there's a headline that was made surrounding one Mark Mcgwire. And that is that the city of St. Louis wants to take away the portion of I-70 in St. Louis that was named Mark Mcgwire Highway. They want to rename it, of all things, Mark Twain Highway. I guess they only wanted to have to change the one word. Or maybe Mark Twain is just who they want to honor. I don't know. But they want to take away Mark Mcgwire Highway away from Mark Mcgwire because of his admitted steroid use. And I don't have a problem with it. And that's the reason that I'm making this episode today, is because I've seen a lot of people online, on the radio, and on television, since this news broke, that are all up in arms, saying it's not fair to Mark Mcgwire to have the highway taken away from him. Why is it not fair for Mark Mcgwire to have the highway taken away from him? If your achievements are meant to be a notification, or in this case a gratification, more to the point, of something that you accomplished in your life, in this case for Mark McGwire, his accomplishments on the baseball field. If that is what the honor of having a portion of the St. Louis Highway was about, and you've now come out and said, yeah, I admit it, my records were tainted, why shouldn't the honor be taken away? Just like I've always said, I don't believe anybody that is an admitted steroid user in baseball should be allowed to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, I know what the argument is. The argument is, Raz, there are too many people who are admitted steroid users now. This entire past decade or so in the sport has been riddled with steroid use. So how do you determine who is cheated and who is not? Well, that's what I was talking about in the beginning when I said I had a simple answer and a simple solution for the problem. There are ways that you could determine who is cheated and who hasn't, such as urine samples or hair samples, which is something, to my knowledge, you've never even touched or attempted to use, and that just boggles my mind. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that the naysayers are right, and there's just too many people to prove for that long a period who has cheated and who hasn't cheated. Well, then the simple answer, the emphatic solution to steroids in baseball is as follows. Whenever it is that statistics started to balloon, which was around 1998, which was the year of the Mark Mcgwire Sammy Sosa home run chase for the then record held by Roger Maris, now held by Barry Bonds, and I put that in quotes because everybody knows Barry Bonds is a steroid user. He just hasn't admitted it yet. But from 1998 forward to, I guess, now, 2010, and until the game is proven to be completely clean, whether that is with a drug test that can't fail or whatever it may be, until the game is proven to be completely clean, you go back to 1998 and to whenever the game is clean, and you put an asterisk in the record books, and you say, this entire era of the sport is known as the steroid era. And everyone that gets into the Hall of Fame from this era of the sport should have a little disclaimer under their plaque that says, these records either were admitted to or may have been improved or broken by the use of steroids. That is the only way to do things fairly, to acknowledge the steroid use and let people into the Hall of Fame. Because that's the argument that people want to make, is you can't deny hundreds and hundreds of eligible Hall of Famers the chance to be in the Hall of Fame because they cheated, because they used steroids, because there's just no way of knowing who did and who didn't. So that is my simple solution, and I want to know what you guys think. An asterisk beside the Hall of Fame record books would be the only way to guarantee that the steroids were acknowledged. And the other thing is, if you have admitted to cheating, I'm not talking about people that they say they can't prove, because there are people that they may or may not be able to prove whether or not they cheated. But to the people that have admitted cheating, such as Rafael Palmeiro, Jose Canseco, Mark McGwire, those people should never be allowed into the Hall of Fame. Now, some of you may know that I've been an advocate to get Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. So you may be saying, well, you're just being a hypocrite there, Az, because why should Pete Rose be allowed in the Hall of Fame? Because he cheated. Yes, he did cheat, but the only crime he committed was to gamble on the game of baseball. He did nothing to the game of baseball to influence the game. He didn't tell his players to go up there and strike out on purpose. And none of his accomplishments as a player, which is what the Hall of Fame should be about, were proven to have been affected by steroids. So that is why Pete Rose is a completely different animal. So I want to know your thoughts on that. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.